Take me out to left field. Give me a shot of Fireball. Give me some high fives from Mark Pena and a hug from Jeff Cross as we stand on top of the tables. Hearing the horns, that's a blast. For it's 1, 2, 3 shots from the cannon with the ladies of left field.
Hey, y'all. It is game time with the ladies of left field. We got Kasey and Katie here with Jordan.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Obviously, we normally start this with our Hot Girl headlines, but frankly, there is only one Hot Girl headline for us to be discussing this week, and it is your 2025 Women's College World Series National Champions, the Texas Longhorns.
Woo! It was awesome.
God, that was so much fun to watch. You felt like this had to be the year, too, especially since they weren't playing Oklahoma, and they came through. It was so much fun.
I completely agree. It was so much fun, seeing them kind of with that great win, that great first win, which was so amazing. To win that game off trying to have an intentional walk, like that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I think ever. I mean, after that second pitch, that was like, the weird thing is she was throwing an intentional walk like with the ball down the middle. So I've never seen anybody do that. Usually you get way outside with better. And then that second pitch was like close to being a strike. And both Mark and I were like, that was close. And then we were both like, Reese might like try to hit one. And then sure enough, man, like it did. And that was amazing. It was such a cool, that was a wacky game too, man. All those obstruction calls, weird stuff.
I'm glad that it went the way it did, because if Texas Tech had won 1-0 on in my opinion, BS obstruction, whatever happened there, like this would have been, for me, would have been like an asterisk. If Texas Tech had gone on to win, it's like, well, yeah, right. But you got help in game one.
Yeah.
Man, there's that one. What a beast, though. That was so funny.
Seriously. I mean, so many of our players just really, really showed up and were amazing. And then game 2 was tough just because I feel like we didn't pitch Tegan, and I get that. And so it was like, I think we were kind of like, let's give Tegan a rest. And let's just see if we can maybe win game 2, and we didn't. But knowing that we had Tegan, with some rest, I think helped us feel really confident about game 3. So
well, and with game 2 also, though, I felt like, by the end of it, I was like, we're hitting her. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they scored all those runs still off of errors in game 2, of bad defense. And so it was like basically, and we showed fight and came out and we were hitting. So I felt better going into game 3, because it was like they're comfortable now against her.
Yeah.
For sure. She threw every pitch for Texas Tech in the entire Women's College World Series. Like at some point, and just mad prop shout out to Nigeri Kennedy too. That's insane. Like one of a kind talent there. And also get that money, girl. She got paid $1 million to pitch at Texas Tech this year, and just signed another contract to get $1 million to pitch at Texas Tech again next year.
I know. I mean, for like women's sports, that's highly impressive and very cool. So I say, get it. And she was impressive. But I agree, Case. And we started to be able to really see her, and I was like, man, we're gonna hit her hard on game 3, and we did. Yeah, they took her out of the game, which I didn't expect, and I mean, we were just killing the ball. So
game 2, I went to game 2 with the Pierces. Not going straight from Mac to Tegan, and then to bring her in at the end, you're like, why, Mike? But I mean, it all worked out. But still, it's kind of like, don't burn her at that point.
Yeah,
we it all worked out.
We did. Yeah, we said the same thing. We were like, it's weird to bring in Tegan now. You just kind of, finish the game. But it totally worked out. She was amazing in game 3. And our whole, the team, the offense. I was hoping we were going to run rule them in game 3. I'm not going to lie. Right. I was like, let's do this. And then when they came back and got, a run, it was like, whatever. But still, it was a dominant performance in game 3 for sure.
I will say, though, I feel like I need to see a college softball rule book, because when they were talking about run rules, and then all of a sudden they're saying, oh, but if they score 3 runs, then the game will go on. And I'm like, what is going on? I do not understand. And then the whole, when come into the game, but you go back in the game.
Yeah, and it's a 7-run rule, I guess, in softball.
7 after 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we automatically took it to 10 with the Grand Slams. That's why.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Well, and also when we've talked about our softball team, to think about their resilience and stuff, how we seem to be dropping off there, towards the end of the regular season, and then we got run ruled at the SEC tournament, and then for them to rebound the way they did was just, story that, this story is so awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you talk about, there's so many good stories. I mean, you talk about Mia Scott, who is just like a quiet, amazing leader. Playing with a torn ACL is just like wild to me. And her being able to play third base like she does, defensively. And then, getting that, game 3, a grand slam. And like, I totally called that. I go, Mark, I was like, she's going to hit a grand slam. And he was like, and then she did. And I was like, I felt that one.
I love that. And I certainly, I don't know. It's because Mia's been here for so long. I was like, you could have made a case for Mia to be most outstanding player. Like, just the plays she was making at third base, and then to come out at game 1 of the finals and be like, oh, by the way, she has a torn ACL. Like, insane.
I actually thought that too. I'm happy that, Tegan got it. But I thought the same thing. I was like, I was kind of surprised that Mia didn't get it. Just with the grand slam and everything, and just her defensive play. But oh well, Tegan's awesome too, so it was great.
I would triple agree with all that. I thought that Mia probably should have been the MVP, but I guess they go through the whole tournament, but still, everything I saw, she was amazing.
Yeah,
and did you also, it's pretty cool that her boyfriend is CJ Baxter.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Because we saw him in the stands, and Mark and I were like, who is that? And I was like, it looks like a football player. And then we were like, oh, it's CJ Baxter. And then next thing you know, they're like, oh, well, he's dating Mia. And we were like, oh, there you go.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then also, did y'all see Kimball was there?
Yes.
Yeah, because Kimball is also dating one of the outfielders, I guess.
Ashton Maloney, right?
Yes.
I love a good baseball softball relationship. Just saying. Makes me so happy.
Well, Mark and I were saying, Kimball, they showed Kimball, on TV, and he was like cheering, and Mark and I were like, wait a minute. And then Mark, of course, then it came out, it's like, oh, he's dating. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's adorable. That's fun. So it was fun to see lots of people there, totally cheering on the girls softball team. I know, Jordan, what did you plan to go to that game with the Pierces, or how'd that happen?
No, it lucked out. So I actually had to go to Oklahoma City, kind of an family emergency trip. And the Pierces were going to go to that game too. And I texted them and said, hey, listen, I'm coming into town. I got a family emergency, but if you guys have, a free evening, assuming my grandpa would probably be sleeping most of the evening. But then they said, okay, I think we're going to go to game 2 if you want to go. And like 5:30 that day, I finally got the okay. Like, Jack was good, but he was sleeping. So my aunt and my mom were like, just go to the game. Like, what are the chances that you're in town for at the time that your team is playing in the championship series of the Women's College World Series? Go to the game.
Yeah.
So I got to go, and I'm glad they made it a game too. At least it was still a fun one. Like, I'll take it. It was just cool to be there. The atmosphere. It was packed. Like, we're sitting in the outfield, and it is packed.
That's awesome.
So it was a lot of fun.
I was like, oh, that's so fun that you made, like you said, that you were able to go, and that the Pierces were there too.
Yeah, it was Jesse and Michelle and the kids, and Jesse's dad and sister also came. So I got to meet his sister. I'd met his dad a couple times, but I met his sister. Yeah. It was fun. They're so awesome. I love them so much.
Jesse and Michelle, they're great people. Well, good. Well, love having a national championship team. It also helped take the sting away from baseball, from the loss. To have something else to focus on, was super helpful, at least in the Pena household.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I was just gonna run through some cool things like before because we got to get into baseball. Obviously, this will be our baseball, kind of recap episode. Yeah. But some cool things. Softball, that 5 runs in game 3, that's the most Nyjah's ever given up in her career.
Wow.
In a single inning. 56 wins this season was the most wins in a single season.
Woohoo!
Texas is the second lowest seed to ever win a D1 softball championship now, as the 6th seed this year.
Yeah, that's
and they're the first SEC softball program to win a championship since Florida did it in 14-15. So, just some cool things. Also, Tegan Cavant, which again, this kind of goes back to why I get why she was most outstanding player. She pitched 31 2/3 consecutive innings without giving up an earned run.
That is amazing.
So, that is the longest streak by a pitcher in the Women's College World Series. So, like, I totally get where she get it. It's a either way you're gonna win with awesome performances. One other cool thing, was coming back to Charlotte, but they had the celebration looked really cool in Austin.
I thought about going, but then we didn't. We went out to eat at Mama Betty's, and we were coming back. We were like, do we stop and check it out? And then we were like, yeah, that seems like a lot of work. So so we didn't, but it looked awesome. So I was happy we did it.
Yeah, we'll put the link because Longhorn Network has it, and they put a re-air type situation on their website. So we'll share that link in case anybody wants to go watch it. It looks pretty cool.
I'd also say too, just like the emotion and from the girls, and just how much they really you can tell they love and appreciate each other, and they're a really great team, and how they support each other. I think that's what really drew people in, I think, as well, to the Longhorn team.
Oh yeah,
really felt it. So I think that was super cool.
And the number of seniors too.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it 5 seniors who'd been 3 times, 2 times without winning? Like, whew.
Well, Mia Scott's record was just wild how many times she's been in the College World Series and not won, which was kind of hard. And so again, going back to that resilience and then getting to win the thing, is just so darn cool. So I'm so happy for them. It was awesome.
Yeah. And then seeing all the former players and Connie Clark chimed in, Kat Osterman, who couldn't be I think this is probably the first game, unless she was doing a Longhorn Network show. This is the first game she couldn't go to because they were launching Athletes Unlimited softball league, so she couldn't be there. But there was some cool stuff on social media about her or seeing her watch that, then win too.
I know when we won, seeing her tear up, and she was like, "Yes, I cried. Yes, I was." Yeah, that stuff was super cool. Yeah, loved it. All right, should we get into baseball?
All right, let's recap this season. Take it away, Katie.
All right. Well, yeah, overall, our baseball team had an amazing season. It didn't end the way, we wanted it to end. We really wanted to make it to Omaha, but, overall, it was still an amazing season. First year with Coach Sloss, and I just think he really, overperformed, in all honesty. I think at the start of the season when we were at Globe Life, having fun, big group of us there, just living our best lives. Jordan's dad came and everything, we just
it's awesome.
It was so fun. But I think we were just okay, we're here for the fun. We're here for let's see what happens. And we had I think maybe little or low expectations.
You just had no idea what to expect.
Yeah. We had no idea. So, to, overall have a 44 wins, only 14 losses, in conference, being conference champs, the first year in the South, and the SEC, having a 22-8 record, it was a great season. So I think, again, didn't end the way we wanted it to, but overall it was pretty great. And, some fun things that I loved was, Max Blue got hurt, and then he ended up coming back, real late in the season. And one of the best moments was his 3-run walk-off homer in the 9th against Oklahoma that did seal the championship for us, and it really showcased our resilience. And I think Max's leadership in coming back to the team. So that was super special. Also loved beating Florida, 5-2, where, funny story, Mark might have tweeted that if anybody hits a home run, he's going to give him $1,000. It was just jokes, but it kind of worked, because then, who knows if they really saw it during the rain delay. And the rain delay was fun because all of our friends played all kinds of, fun games on the picnic tables that involved dice. Somehow Kyle had dice, and that's when Kyle sang Shania Twain. But then, Rylan and Jalen hit back-to-back home runs right after that. And then Jonah Williams, who had all the vibes, when he started to play for us as well, hit that 3-run double. So it was awesome. And then, of course, our boy Dylan Volantis came in and saved the game. So, and that's when he set an SEC saves record as well. So those are really fun. And I'll say my last, and that was it was a great win, but then we lost the next game. But in the regional where Kasey Borba, was the Sunday morning game, we're playing K-State, and that kid just like went out of his mind. And we love Kasey, but we love his family. I mean, his dad, Eric, and his grandparents are like the nicest people and most fun in the whole wide world. And so, just hit 2 homers, 8 RBIs in that game. And so that was, to get us to the Sunday night game. And sadly, that's where we lost. But still, it was so those are my kind of fun moments, like game moments. And then we can get into like personal fun moments. I don't know, Jordan, you got any favorite game moments?
Mine would either be probably the LSU win, just because I feel like once we got that series win, it was kind of like, oh, this team, like, there's something here. And then the Georgia sweep also. So, I mean, when you take 2 of 3 from number 2 and then sweep number 3, you're kind of like, wow, this is a good team in the SEC also.
Yeah.
Also, the LSU, that Sunday was Ruger's first start, which was so much fun. But, personal wise was also the LSU series, just getting to come back from my first series. So that was a lot of fun.
I know. That was a good, fun surprise. I know. Personal fun. I mean, like I mentioned, just going to Globe Life is always fun because all of us are kind of there. Me and Jordan have family in the area in Arlington. And so that's kind of always a little fun trip. Jordan and I went to Vegas as well. Great time. We had a good, we spent some time on the strip, but where the game was in like a minor league park was adorable. And it was a really, it was just a beautiful area out there off the strip. And then we had lots of fun. I think we ended up like laughing so hard at who knows what, that I think
I was definitely on the ground at the ballpark at one point. I remember
rolling, laughing, which means we were having a great time.
We had some good espresso martinis, like
we did. So we had a great time in Vegas and we won, so that's always good. And I didn't realize, like when I was looking back and thinking back over the season, I was like, golly, I made some like legit road trips. I mean, Globe Life, is not far, but still. Then going to Vegas, and then Mark and I went to Mississippi State, which we talked about before. But that was an amazing trip. I mean, it was some of the best fans, literally the best stadium I have ever been to in college baseball. It was so cool. And the fans and the hospitality, and they were so welcoming and so wonderful. And the food, I mean, I can't stop thinking about, and that seafood, what was it? That seafood boudin. Yeah, seafood boudin.
Oh, yeah.
Delicious. So, I mean, I would love to go back to Mississippi State. That was so fun. And then I agree. The LSU series with you coming back was fun. We had great food that weekend. We had a crawfish boil with tortelloni in it. It was delicious. And then we also saw LSU fans doing it later. And we were like, yeah, that's right.
After they roasted Glenn too. Y'all leave poor Glenn Lewis alone. He is the crawfish king.
Yeah.
I will fight anyone.
Yeah.
That was great.
John made good gumbo. Denny made good jambalaya. I mean, it was just, and then, we lost that Friday game, but then to come back and win on Saturday and Sunday, I think that also was like my time of being like, holy moly, like this team I think is legit, to lose the Friday game and not be rattled, and to come back and win on Saturday and Sunday, I just think really showed me a lot. And then I'm not going to lie, we were all a little bit worried about Texas A&M, and them coming to Austin and all the trash talk, with us taking Coach Sloss and how that was going to go down, and that they were going to be mad, and how that was going to look, and then we just beat them. And then we just swept it.
Because they had been turning it around at that point too, and you're like, oh, it was really easy to make fun of them when they were 1-8 in the SEC, but now they've ripped off how many wins in a row, and I don't love that, but then yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, so dominating them in Austin was just a super highlight, and I mean they had like no fire. I mean it was like we just dominated them, And, for us to be kind of worried about how that would go, and then for us to just show up like that was really, really amazing. And also, I think it says a lot about our team. So, yeah, it was lots of good moments.
It was a fun season. Like, obviously, you're so sad when you lose to UTSA, who, by the way, that's obviously a solid team because they beat us 3 times. It's not like it was a fluke. They are a good team. But it's fun now.
They lost yesterday, and so I was like, I'm also kind of cheering for them. So I want them to win today.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, it is nice to like go back and think of all the highs from the season because there were a ton. I mean, it was a really fun season. So, speaking of UTSA though, in the College World Series, we got all super regionals going on. Sunday, and then maybe a couple games on Monday potentially.
Yeah.
Louisville, Miami. That series was tied. Oregon State, Florida State tied. It's been fun super regionals too.
Yeah, they've been on quite a bit. It's been fun to watch. There's some really interesting matchups. I know. What's your postseason pick, Jordan? Who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
This is definitely kind of a home field bias, but now I'm pulling for the Tar Heels. I think North Carolina can certainly turn it on, and they're turning it on now. Yeah, I'm pulling for the Tar Heels, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I mean, I think UNC side of the bracket should be them, or Coastal. And Coastal just has a crazy winning record, or like winning consecutive, games. They're like at 23 games in a row right now, including a pretty easy sweep of Auburn in that super, which is impressive. It's just kind of crazy. I mean, Coastal's a smaller school. I think you did look it up, and they did win the College World Series in 2016. But still,
16, yeah.
Still, that's kind of wild. So, I mean, yeah, Coastal and UNC on their side of the bracket. And I really think, whoever is the winner from the Tennessee-Arkansas Super is probably going to take that side of the bracket. I'm just not really a fan of either team. As a Texas fan, you're never really an Arkansas fan. And if you're like old school and the Southwest Conference as well, and then you really don't like Arkansas. So, and then Tennessee is just, Tennessee. So, I'm not really going to cheer for them either. So that's interesting. So
Tony Vitello.
No. Yeah, same.
Which Kasey, so for everyone, Kasey has not just abandoned us, but she is on her way back from Tyler. So she's probably in the middle of nowhere, Texas, with no phone service. But she's trying to log back in. But I'm mentioning the story for her because she texted us this, and it's a great story. I guess Tony Vitello was late to his in-game interview on the headset, and he said it's because he has a small bladder. You know what? I feel that, man. I get that.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Just an interesting dude, but yeah.
Agreed.
So we'll pull for the Roadrunners, Tar Heels, the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina.
Yep.
Anyone but Tennessee and Arkansas. All right. So I think that kind of puts a good bow on baseball season. Although we are gonna attempt to get Mark Pena on next week to give us the download on the portal and anything going on in the off season. Because Mark is the most dialed in person I know. Mark's got the end, so we'll try and get Mark on next week to give a little bit of an update because there's been a lot of shenanigans or rumors about stuff going on in the portal. Texas guys going in, Texas getting guys out of there. Tune in next week because hopefully there will be a little more clarity because it'll be down to 8 teams in Omaha, and so guys will be making their decisions, and hopefully we'll have some interesting updates for you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We can keep talking about the College World Series and then also get some updates from Mark, who is totally dialed into this transfer portal NIL situation. So we'll see what's up.
And one other debate that we kind of went around the horns between softball and baseball, and the only other programs still kicking are track and field, which their outdoor championships start on June 11th. And the number 17 men have 7 athletes competing. We got 4x1, triple jump, high jump, 100-meter hurdles, 200-meter, 400-meter hurdles, and the 4x4. And then on the women's side, it's, I believe, 4 events, but 6 athletes are competing at 4x1, which Texas has been historically good in the 4x1.
Yep.
100-meter hurdles, 2 in the 400-meter hurdles, and 2 in the 200-meter. So hopefully we'll get a few more, maybe individual national championships coming through. But shout out again, softball. So pumped for that program. And I don't know, maybe we'll try and get the Goat Mia Scott on the podcast sometime.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll make that effort now. Other things going on in the sports world. I'll get to it first because it was my thing for the whole season, and I'm still sad about it. Stars lost the Western Conference Finals in Game 5, so they're out. So Edmonton advanced to the Stanley Cup. They're playing the Florida Panthers. That series is tied. But the Stars fired Pete DeBoer, which when I saw the alert, I was kind of confused about because you'd make it to the Western Conference Finals 3 times and then you fire the coach. Apparently, it just felt out of nowhere, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then people were saying, aside from benching Otter, which I get, you give up 2 goals, but he's also been incredible in the playoff. I mean, he's one of the best goalies in the NHL. So I think between that and then I guess maybe some other issues with players, it was a bad fit, and they needed what leadership said was they needed a new voice in the locker room. So I got no clue who they're going to bring in. I like hockey, but I'm not that dialed in, so I got no clue.
We were just talking. I mean, we're it's kind of interesting that coaches are so quick to go right now. I mean, we're talking about the Stars coach. I mean, yeah, you go to the Western Conference Finals and that's not good enough. The Knicks coach got fired. Same thing. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals and they fired him. It's just, I don't know. It's okay. I mean, I think Kasey said it best. She was like, "What have you done for me lately?" And it's there's no room for anything besides championships sometimes. So it's interesting.
That's tough. But we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Still just sad about this stuff, man. That was such a bummer too. At least they put a little bit of a fight in Game 5. The final was still 6-3, but it's they tried.
They tried.
Other playoffs going on. You got the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pacers and the Thunder. Game 1 was interesting. The Thunder were winning the whole dang game. And then the Pacers won the thing with Halliburton's 21-foot jumper with literally 0.3 of a second left. That was Indiana's first lead of the whole dang game, and then they won the game. So that was wild.
Crazy.
They're so wild. And Game 2 is tonight, which tonight is Sunday. So you probably will see. It's in OKC. Go Thunder. They should win this thing. And they should win the whole thing. But we'll see. And then Game 3 is on Wednesday in Indy. So yeah, it'll be an interesting. It started off crazy, so I mean, at least it's entertaining. But I say go Thunder. So we'll see what happens.
I'm with you there. For some reason, the vibe I got was that Oklahoma City was going to run away with it. So that was kind of fun that Indiana came out and immediately. And also, lifetime Longhorn, Miles Turner on Indy. So either way, it's good for us. Either Miles wins a championship or the Thunder win their first. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, we have no big allegiance either way. Also, it was just really cool to see Coco Gauff win the French Open. First American women to win the singles title since Serena Williams in 2015. I mean, all the Americans were really showing up this year at the French Open, which is a clay court and kind of typically harder for Americans to play on because we don't typically play on clay courts as much. And Coco has, kind of had a big rise and then she kind of fell off a little bit. And so to see her kind of come back and really win this French Open was amazing. And so, they always talk about all the Americans really look up to Serena and Venus Williams, and so it was just super cool to see her win the French Open. Big deal.
Yeah. That is awesome.
All right, what else you got? Any other fun facts?
Only other fun thing I have, which this came across my Twitter feed because I follow Pitching Ninja. Bryce Elder had 12 strikeouts in Atlanta's game versus San Francisco on Saturday. I think the game did not end well for Atlanta, but 12 strikeouts. That's hard to do in the MLB nowadays. So shout out to Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce was a pitcher on the Longhorns team, and how many years ago was this? Was Bryce here? Like 5?
Maybe 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then this would be a great thing for Kasey to share because she has a true hatred for Aaron Rodgers. I don't like this though because I mean Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers, and I like the Steelers. I like Mike Tomlin. My mom was born and grew up in Pittsburgh, and so I've always had like my papa was a big Steelers fan. My mom was. So I've always kind of had like a little bit of a love for the Steelers, and I don't like Aaron Rodgers. So I'm like not into this, but you know, whatever. I'm sure I'm gonna.
He needs to retire. Just let it go, man. Let it go.
Yeah, hang it up.
Let it go. Yes. Like. Anyway, so we have to deal with Aaron Rodgers for at least one more season.
So he's gonna start. Do you think he's gonna start?
Who else is on the Steelers roster? Isn't Mason Rudolph?
What I thought.
He was there and then maybe went away, but I'm about to find this out. Because, yes, that's a great question, too. Like, when you sign Aaron Rodgers, you just assume he's going to start, but I don't actually know the rosters.
Yeah. Oh, Russell. Okay. So, the Steelers will likely have a new quarterback as both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are expected to be free agents. So, they also picked up Aaron Rodgers, like we said, but Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson are also on the roster.
Okay. Skylar Thompson. Oh.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
How many? I saw something. What are we? A little less than 100 days from NFL season now, which is also insane. Like,
I know now the dog days of summer. If you are a sports fan, there's not much to watch. I mean, we're thankful for the College World Series. MLB baseball is playing. I mean, and that's really about it, y'all.
I mean, you got MLB golf. Golf is going on,
but it's hot in the middle of summer. There's not a lot. So this is when if you're a sports fan, this is when people get married. Just so you know.
Yes.
Schedule the weddings for July and early August, and because that's when your friends will be mad at you, because you won't schedule it during a really important game.
Yeah. Sorry about the heat. Which, being back in Oklahoma for a few days, I just was unprepared. Like I think every time I've been back in Texas so far, it's been still pretty moderate, like not terrible. Yeah. And then like I parked the car, went in somewhere for maybe 20 minutes, and I couldn't like close the door. It was so hot in the car.
Yeah.
So
it's like back in the hundreds. I think it was like close to 100 yesterday. And but that's supposed to be cool. Like get a little bit of a cool front, I think, this week. So who knows? It has been crazy hot.
I don't envy
all time. Summertime. All right,
friends.
Well, hopefully, maybe we can, I don't know, talk to Kasey again, get some input from.
I just saw in our little chat now. She said one thing. She said talk about the tech bias, which, sorry to bring us back to softball, was very true. Like it did seem, and Kennedy's great, and Jerry Glasgow is honestly like a cool guy. Like I talked to him a couple times. I think he's hilarious, but it definitely felt like the world was pulling for tech in that Women's College World Series.
I completely agree, especially in game 1. You know, I mean, with all those weird obstruction calls and all of that, I was like, what is happening here? Where I did feel like, you know, yeah. I'll also say, and Shelly said this in our text group, but that game 1 where all the announcers, you know, TV people, they were all like in like sparkly prom dresses, you know, before the game.
I didn't see that. I saw the text, but I didn't see the outfits.
I mean, like I turned it on. It was like their pregame clothes, and then they changed out of those clothes to do the actual game. It was very interesting. But yeah, all 4 of them had on like brightly colored, sequined-ish prom type looking dresses for their pregame, and so that was
great.
I mean, I guess it was. You know, it's game 1. They were getting fancy, but it was funny. It was a funny look. Yeah. So. And I agree with Grace too. She said also, you know, we didn't bring that up, but yeah, that was a big deal when we lost Jared Spencer at front baseball pitcher, and still really, I mean, that was a tough moment because I think our pitching was so secured. You know, we had Jared pitching on Fridays, and then then it was Saturday was Luke Harrison, and then Sunday was Ruger, and that was really consistent. We were killing it. And then when Jared went out, We had to mix it up. We moved Ruger to Friday. I don't know what happened. That like messed with him, I think, a little bit.
No.
And I think Luke Harrison was steady, man. He was a pretty steady all year.
That is such a good point. We never really talked about Luke Harrison either. And like, I was so pumped to see him at the beginning of the season. Then so many other things happened, but excuse me. Yeah. Way to hold it down, Luke Harrison, all season, just steady, consistent, one calm, cool, collected guy when a lot of things hit the fan in the pitching staff.
Yeah. And Tom and Anita are some of our favorite people out in left field. So, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. Luke's, Tom, and Anita are good folks. So, all right. Well, we will talk more baseball next time. College World Series. We'll get Mark to give us a scoop on all the things, portal, and what's happening next for the UT baseball team.
I think that's it. We're still going to say see y'all in left field, but it'll be a minute.
Yeah, for sure. See y'all in left field.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.